Whether it's the animated Mr. Bean or the live-action version, this character has been insanely popular from the very beginning. When it first released in 1990, the popularity skyrocketed so fast that it started airing in more than 200 countries. Every single episode attracted nearly 300 million viewers worldwide. And because of this massive global success, Rowan Atkinson received countless awards and recognitions. But the most shocking thing is this: Mr. Bean ended after just 15 episodes, only 5 years later, despite being one of the most popular shows on the planet. Why? Before you jump to the conclusion that Rowan Atkinson was stupid to end such a massively successful show, let me tell you something that will flip your mind. The man you think made a dumb decision is actually an Oxford-educated electrical engineer with an IQ of 178, higher than Albert Einstein, which means the real fools are us, and because we never understood the real reason behind ending this legendary show. But before we get to that reason, let me ask you something interesting. Have you ever wondered what happened to the iconic green Mini Cooper used in the show? What happened to the famous Teddy? And where is Rowan Atkinson, the man behind Mr. Bean, today? A while ago, a photo of him went viral online, and people started believing he had passed away. Is that true? And why did Rowan Atkinson say in a podcast that he actually does not like playing Mr. Bean? Let's unpack everything. The silent genius behind Mr. Bean. If you've watched even a few minutes of Mr. Bean, you must have noticed how much he hates the blue three-wheeled car that appears throughout the series. He mocks it in almost every episode. But why? There's a pretty interesting reason. Rowan Atkinson was an introverted kid, someone who had a severe speech disorder. He used to stammer. Because of this, he struggled to speak comfortably in public. That's exactly why the creators kept Mr. Bean's dialogues to the absolute minimum. His humor was built entirely around expressions and body language, something that removes all language barriers, letting the whole world enjoy it equally. And honestly, that's pure dedication. If you can't speak fluently, just remove the dialogue altogether. Simple. But how did an electrical engineer suddenly become a global comedy star? After completing his MSc, Rowan was supposed to start his PhD, but during his time at university, he was bitten by the acting bug. He began performing small sketches on stage, something his parents would have never approved of if he told them directly. During this time, he met a writer named Richard Curtis, and trust me, if this man hadn't entered Rowan's life, we might have never seen Mr. Bean in the first place. Rowan started appearing in shows like Not the 9 O'Clock News and Blackadder, but true global popularity only came after Mr. Bean was born. How Mr. Bean got its name. Originally, the show was going to be called Mr. White, but Rowan and the writers felt the character needed a funnier, vegetable-based name. Yes, vegetable. They considered names like Mr. Cauliflower and Mr. Carrot. Eventually, they settled on Mr. Bean. Simple, funny, and incredibly memorable. The episodes were performed in front of a live studio audience, and their actual laughter was recorded. That's why the laughter you hear is real and not fake audio tracks. And the entire show relied heavily on physical comedy, pure expressions, movement, timing, and Rowan's facial genius. Then, why end it? After only 15 episodes, this is the part that shocks everyone. Mr. Bean was at its peak, global love, awards, massive viewership, and yet Rowan Atkinson ended it intentionally. But before we reveal the reason, let's talk about the animated series that came out in 2002, which continued Mr. Bean's legacy. Honestly, many people discovered Mr. Bean through the animated version, including me. But here's a twist most people don't know. Mr. Bean is actually an alien. Yes, at least according to multiple clues dropped by the creators. He has no past, no family, no backstory, and he behaves like he's seeing everything for the first time. If you live in India or Pakistan, you can say he's basically the UK version of PK. Or maybe the movie PK got inspired by Mr. Bean, who knows? But is he canonically an alien? There's a clue in the animated episode Double Trouble. In the episode, Mr. Bean sees someone who looks exactly like him driving a similar car. He follows him into a park, befriends him, and later invites him home. That person's name? Mr. Pod. Eventually, Mr. Pod takes Bean's girlfriend into a spaceship. Yes, Bean apparently has a girlfriend. Unbelievable, I know. When Bean follows him, he discovers many more versions of himself, each with a different soft toy. As they fly away into space, all these beans push him out of the UFO, and that moment transitions directly into the show's iconic opening scene. Was the episode made just to entertain kids? Maybe. But the debate around Mr. Bean being an alien has been alive for years. Why Mr. Bean hated that blue car? The blue car from the show, the one that Bean keeps mocking, is a real vehicle called the Reliant Regal, a three-wheeler known in the UK for being cheap, tiny, and extremely unstable. People often made fun of it, and that's exactly why the writers used it as a rival vehicle. Meanwhile, Bean's own Mini Cooper was considered one of the best budget cars of its time, so the rivalry was intentionally written to make it relatable and funny. But where are these iconic items now? The original green Mini is kept on display at the BMW Classic Museum. Teddy, the beloved soft toy, was also kept in a museum but later got sold at an auction. What happened to Rowan Atkinson? Is he alive? Yes, Rowan Atkinson is alive, healthy, and still acting today. Rumors about his death spread online many times, but he's perfectly fine. However, he actually could have died years ago in a real plane crash incident. In 2001, Rowan, his Indian wife Sunetra Sastry, and their 2 children were flying in a private plane when the pilot suddenly passed out mid-flight. The plane lost control. Rowan grabbed the controls and managed to keep the plane stable for 20 minutes, until the pilot regained consciousness and made an emergency landing. The entire family survived because Rowan literally saved the day. If it were me, I would have died from a heart attack before even touching the controls. Rowan and Sunetra later divorced, but they continue to co-parent. So why did he end Mr. Bean? Here's the real reason. Rowan Atkinson and his team wanted Mr. Bean to feel like a rare treat, not something repetitive and boring. Producing such scenes took a lot of time and effort. So Rowan decided it was better to create fewer episodes, each one iconic and timeless, rather than drag the character until it lost its charm. Like many long-running shows do, they wanted Bean to remain special. And because of that decision, every one of those 15 episodes is still memorable, still iconic, and still universally funny. And honestly, he was right.